Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now let's continue the fragmentation in wireless LAN. Now let's see what the fragmentation is. Fragmentation is nothing but the frames are split into smaller pieces and these smaller pieces are known as fragments. This is a fragmentation. Here in the previous example we saw that this is completely a fully data, but whereas in this case the full data is divided in smaller packets known as fragments, and each fragment has an acknowledgement followed by we have to send an acknowledgement for each packet. Now let's see how this works. If a packet is very long, then the probability of transmission will be less. So how to prevent this? What's the solution? The solution is that after sending each fragment, it have to assure that it has received an acknowledgement for the individual packet. Only after receiving the acknowledgement of first packet, then only have to send the next packet. Like that, after sending all the packets, then after receiving the acknowledgement of all the fragments, then we can assure that the frame data is completely transmitted. Now let's see the power savings in wireless LANs. There are two problems, like if you are using a wireless LAN, how to charge the device. Battery life is always an issue with the mobile wireless devices. So there is a basic mechanism known as beacon frames. Beacon frames are the small control packets to know if they are connected or not. It is used as the power save mode. In this mode, a client can dozen and the AP will buffer traffic intended for it. And another mechanism is known as automatic power save delivery. Using beacons, we can save power in wireless LANs. It takes care that the client don't waste too much of power, neither while sending the information nor while receiving it. So this plays a major role in transmission. Now let's see the frame structure, which is the most important thing. Here the frame control is made up of 11 subfields. This is the frame control. It is of 2 bytes. All fields in Wi-Fi frame format are represented in the form of bytes, whereas the subfields are represented in the form of bits. So let's start with the first field, frame control. It is a 2-byte starting field composed of 11 subfields. What it contains? It contains all the information regarding the protocol version type, subtype and etc. Now let's see them in detail. What is a protocol version? It consists of 2 bits and it is set to 00. It is included to allow future versions to operate simultaneously. Next, coming to type. This is of 2 bits. What it contains? It tells us whether the frame is a data frame or a management frame. The next is followed by the subtype, which is of 4 bits. It states whether it is a RTS or CTS, whereas the regular data frame value is set to 0000. Next is 2DS, which is to destination, and from DS is from where it is coming. This 2 indicates where the frame is going to or coming from the network. Next is mode fragment, which is MF. Here single bit subfield sets to 1, indicating more fragments would follow up. Next is retry. It is set to 1 when retransmission of the previous frame is done, or else it will be set to 0. Next is power management. It indicates that the sender is adopting power saving mode. If it is 1, then it is indicating that it is adopting to power saving mode, or else it is of 0. So it consists of 1 bit. Next is mode data. It indicates that the sender has further data frames for the receiver, which is again of 1 bit. Next is WEP. It is an encrypted frame. This is protected one, which is of 1 bit again. Next, last one is the order. This informs the receiver that It informs receiver that to higher later frames should be in an order sequence. Order means what? It ensures that all the frames are in an order, are in a sequential order. Next, coming to the duration. Duration specifies the time period of a frame and an acknowledgement. Next, coming to the addressing. There are 4 addressing bytes, which all are of 6 bytes, and duration is of 2 bytes. The first address tells us that is the receiver's address, and the next one is the transmitter's address. The third one is the distance endpoint address, and the fourth one is can be used for other purposes. This is SEQ. It detects duplicate frames and also helps the frames like to check whether all the frames are in an order or not, so there is no duplication of any frame. Next is the data. It is the most essential thing. It is also known as a packet. It contains the main information. These are the head for the data and this is the tail. CRC, as we know, it is cyclic redundance check or the checksum. It is used for error detection purposes, like whether the data sent at the sender is same as the data received at the receiver or not. Using this algorithm, we can check whether the data is misplaced or whether it is hacked. We can verify or whether we can know whether the data is modified or not with the help of CRC. This is from to DS or from DS. When the both are 0 and 0, then in address 1 destination address will be stored, and in address 2 the sender address will be stored, and in address 3 BSS ID will be stored. Similarly, when it is 0 1 and 1 0 and 1 1, these are all the different possibilities which will occur. This is the short notes of what we have discussed in the previous slide, which you can make a note of it. Now let's coming to 802.11 services. These are the different types of services which it provides. So the first one is association. It establishes an initial association between the station and an API. This is the initial connection. And reassociation, it enables an establishment association to be transferred from one API to the other. Like it allows a transfer of the stations from one base station to another. Next one is the disassociation. This means the opposite of association, which is nothing but it terminates the existing stations. Next is authentication. It establishes authentication, which is the identity of the stations to each other. Next is de-authentication. It is invoked or the existing stations are terminated. Next is the privacy. This is the important thing where it prevents the message contents from being read by the unintended persons. So that's it for today. I hope you have enjoyed this lecture and you have understood everything. If you have any doubts, comment in the comment section and don't forget to like and share. And don't forget to download our Edumin app, and the link is given in the description box. It provides you with previous year papers, study materials and much more. Please download it. Thank you.